Hi everybody, welcome to Deb's Way, and I'm Deb. And you are back in my sewing nook for another hashtag Friday Sews. Yeah, well I know it's Saturday, but I couldn't help it. For two reasons, I decided to wait until today to put up my video. The first reason was because I really haven't gotten any sewing done this week. No. And that is because last week I told you all that I had a bout with a kidney stone and a UTI of some sort, and I was taking an antibiotic that was strong enough for me. I mean, it's a typical antibiotic, but it was so strong for me that it just kind of knocked me out. I mean, I was groggy all the time and not thinking clearly, and no, I didn't really do much of anything. I started working on, yes, I am working on 8640. I decided to give it a try. Everybody else is working on it. And I started cutting this out well over a week ago. Well, I didn't cut it out. I just kind of put it on the fabric and pinned it a little bit. I need to go through and make adjustments to the, alter the pattern as I need to. I haven't checked that out yet, but I'm going to try my hand at this. And let me show you the fabric that I'm using for that. I got a while back, actually. And it's this pattern, red with blue and light blue and white flowers on it. That's going to be my 8640 dress. I did stop working on this because I just wasn't thinking clearly enough to finish it. So I will be getting to that this week, definitely. In the meantime, I'm working at altering a nightgown that I bought on sale, months ago really. And I need to take in the top area here because it just is so low when I put it on. So I've pinned up the shoulder seams here to see if I need to take it up more. I guess I can try. It looks like the stitching was done pretty loosely, but I want to try it on and see just how much I need to take it in. The sleeves are fine. It's just the bodice area that's really kind of droopy, and I want to move that up. And I suppose I could go down the side. It is a bigger size for me. I could take it in all the way around, except I do like the sleeves. So we'll see how that turns out. I'll be working on that this week too. So now, before I go any further, I just want to say thank you to Jen at Today in Jen's Sewing Room for hosting this wonderful collaboration of sewists of, all levels, and also sewists around the world, literally, for both, all levels of sewists and around the world. Everybody seems to come together in this genre to share what they've been doing, want to do, the bargains that they found, the fabric that they found, the patterns that they've bought, everything. It's so interesting, and I am thoroughly enjoying this collaboration. So thank you, Jen, for putting this collaboration together and keeping it going. And we kind of all help you keep it together and keep it going, don't we? So anyway, now the second reason why I delayed making this video was because today, Saturday, was Christmas in August at my favorite fabric place, the sewing studio. And so I don't remember, I don't think I've ever been to this event, or maybe this is the first time they've held it, I'm not sure. But I decided to go and see what it was all about because they advertised that they were having, it was a make it and take it event. So I thought, okay, well, we'll see what this is all about. And I'm glad I did go because I did enjoy it. And I'm going to show you a little bit of the video that I made there right here. Okay, this is Christmas in August at Sewing Studio. This is the training classroom. Hi! Oh my goodness.
So this tape, have you seen this binding tape before?
Oh, I've seen it. I've never used it.
Oh my gosh.
I know it.
It's so easy to do the zipper now because you can just buy it pre-made.
Oh my gosh.
And you insert it here and here, and your tote bag is done with the zipper. And then if you're doing a quilt, I can insert one block here, my other block over here, and I've got my sashing perfectly cut.
Oh my.
No wave.
Cool.
Easy sashing.
Really?
Yeah. But see, here's the zipper. See
I like that.
how easy that is?
Yeah.
And then she embellished it with some paint.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Cute.
And you see the bag there. She just did a decorative stitch on the outside
Oh, I like that.
that really shows off that zipper.
I feel like I'm going backwards here. Oh, here's the embroidery classes. Look at this.
You're welcome.
To purchase a baby lock. Okay. Demonstrations. And they're embroidering a Christmas decoration of some sort. And here's another one.
Lucky you. My grandchild just turned 30.
They're seeing how the embroidery machine works. Okay. Sorry. Oh, I love the shades. Oh. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, hon. And he's busy sewing.
They had a guy sew it, yeah. So, yeah, all I'm doing, I mean, again,
Look at
you can use fat quarters,
This
you
is
can
what
use
he's
your
making.
scraps,
Cute.
and then you can, you can make them any size, but again, I mean, for a size here. And so here's the poly bias that you can make, right? I mean, you buy it, just use it in the package, but I actually made my own bias. That way I can take a striped fabric and make, so I'm making all my own bias, and I can use all my scraps.
Now, see, there they are right there. Now, we're going to make sure that these are going to fit on here. So we're going to take a picture of it. So I can push that one right there. The middle is going to be right there. Right. Look harder. Good. Perfect. Now you're going to press the green button. Start. Good. And it's going to take a picture of it.
Okay.
Watch up here if you don't see it.
Oh. Does it get you in the mood for Christmas? Look at that. Beautiful scene. The quilts. Oh, what's this?
And now we're going to watch it cut. This is this new rotary tray
Apron.
that cuts old fabric, even
Hmm.
lace, mesh, light stuff, stretchy stuff. The best.
All the Christmas. Oh, look at that. Well, I have shopped till I dropped. Let's see, what time? Didn't do too badly. I was only in there for maybe an hour and a half. Not more than 2 hours for sure. I got several pieces of fabric, quite a variety, different materials that I'm not used to working with, but I really like them. And I had fun. So I'm going to show you when I get home just exactly what I got. Next up though is going to be Taco Bell. I got to take lunch home to Mr. But that's okay because I'll go Taco Bell too. Look at my hair, just little pieces of hair flying around here. Yes, I turned the air conditioner on full blast. It is hot here. And I said hot because it is just that. But I'm going home. It was a lot of fun, really. And basically what I got out of it is, yes, they were doing a lot of Christmas decorations, a Christmas tag, a Christmas bulb of some sort, and a Christmas a gift tag to hang over a bottle, which I thought was kind of cute anyway, and I've seen that before, but I never saw it demoed. And also, the first lady I ran into, she was a teacher of 2 of the classes, but she was showing how to use a special zipper and a binding as well. How cool. Yeah, I'll have to remember that when I put a zipper in for sure. The binding I don't have a problem with, but a zipper, yeah. And it seemed to be the type of zipper that you could use that makes it easier to put it in somehow. Anyway, I intend to give it a try. But I went with the idea of finding some fabric also because I've signed up for some classes. The first class coming up it's a beginning sewing class, like a basic class. But I always learn something from these classes. I've taken this one about twice before. I mean, we're talking about, one was years ago, and then one was within the last maybe 2 to 3 years. And I always learn something new. The last class I did take, the same type of class anyway, I made a top, and it didn't quite fit right, so I need to really work at the adjustment on the pattern in this upcoming class. So I bought material to make me a new top, and I looked around and I bought some other material too for other patterns that I've got on hand here. But the class that I'm taking coming up is the end of this month, and it's like 4 sessions long, in which I will make a top. And that top is Simplicity 9130, okay? And yes, I'm doing this top without, this one has ruffles on it. I'm not doing that one. I'm just doing the plain sleeve here like that one. Okay, and the material that I've got to make this is, now it's inside out. Hang on a minute. One moment, please. I want to say the last time I made that top, I tried to make it out of a cotton material, and it just was so stiff and didn't fit. Well, this is more like a rayon challis. This is the material I'm going to make it out of. There's a little bit of stretch to it, not a lot, but yeah. This is going to be the top. That's the class top. And then let me show you this. This is my bag of purchases from the sewing studio today. It's a heavy bag. And let me tell you too that the fabric that I bought, there was no special sale, but because I bought a lot of this with the idea of making tops out of it, I got it for 15% off because that's the class fee. And I wasn't sure which material I was going to use, but after discussing the issue with the cashier, I decided to make it out of this other material I showed you. But I did get this piece of material. That's going to make a nice top. And now to me, this feels like a cotton knit, but I'm not sure what it is. I think it's more like a rayon spandex. There's a little bit of stretch to it, but it is well, it feels like a knit to me. That's going to be a top. They suggested I not do the basic sewing class top out of that material until I learn how to work with a stretchy material, I guess. I don't know. And then they suggested not using this material for the class top because it has a pattern that you have to match. So they keep it kind of easy, I guess. Alrighty, there's not a lot of stretch to that material. This next material was in their, I guess you would call it their clearance rack, $5 a yard, yeah. And I looked at it once and I put it back on the rack. and went off to the Christmas event and watched that for a while. And then I went back and I passed that same rack again, and I pulled out that hunk of material. I passed it up again, and I went looking around another area, went back to the clearance rack, and I pulled it out and I said, you know what? Third time's a charm. It keeps drawing me back. I have to get it. So this is what I got. It's 5.5 yards. I'll probably end up making this into a dress. But I just, it's a different color for me because it's kind of like an orangey red with very colorful butterflies on it. So we'll see what I do with that one. The last bit of material. I saw this and I thought, oh, well, I do wear a lot of jeans, so I can wear any of these tops with jeans or white slacks for right now. And this material rather, I can make a top out of it that I can wear with my jeans or a black pair of slacks. I don't know if you can tell. It's real drapey, but it's this beautiful color, blue. I call this dotted Swiss. I'm probably wrong on that, but it's a beautiful blue background with itty bitty black dots in it. So from a distance it looks like a solid really, but it's just a beautiful color. So that was my fabric haul. That will keep me busy for a while, definitely. And as far as the beginning sewing classes go that I'm taking, like I said, this is the second one where I'm making a top. There's a Sewing Basics 3 where you make a dress, and I'm considering taking that one also. I did take that one before, a couple of years back, never finished the dress because, once again, it didn't fit. So I get discouraged real fast, real easily, and I just pitched it. And then there is also a Basic Sewings 4 class. Now this is a new class where you work with one of the instructors from the basic sewing class. There's 3 of them. And you work with one of the instructors, choose your pattern and your material, get clearance from that instructor so she knows what you're going to work on, and go for it. You're on your own. So the class, I think it could have up to 6 people. 8 would be the most, I know, but maybe 6. You all can be working on a different project with the assistance of an instructor there too. So I'm hoping to eventually take that class too. Okay. Jen had a question of the week for everybody, and it was, how do you store your fabric? Well, for me, I used to have, well, these shelves that I have in my sewing nook. At the beginning of the pandemic, I kind of rearranged things back here. It was totally my sewing room, but that's when it became a 2-function type room, sewing room and pantry area. I have a pantry in the kitchen. This is my backup pantry. So that's what I consider it. That's why I call it my sub pantry. But I got rid of, I sold a lot of fabric. I gave a lot of fabric away. I also had yarn that I gave away. You know, I sold my designer 1. Everything that went along with it went out the door with it. Yep. And I sold it to a lady that was busy making masks at the beginning of pandemic, and I gave her a bunch of material also. I mean, I was cleaning house, okay? So my fabric stash went down to nothing. I kept only what I knew I would finish up quilting wise, and a few odds and ends of fabric that I really, really liked and still wanted to make something out of it. So let me show you my fabric stash, how I store it, which is not a typical way that, you know, most people do. I love the way that Jen does hers, and Michelle, and they have like little squares of rectangle or little squares of fabric on the shelves. And Jen, I wish you would show how you do that. You told how you did it in your video this week, but how you fold it up on that little square piece is amazing to me, especially with the quantity of fabric that I have per bundle that I'm going to show you. But first of all, let me show you my stash. I keep a lot of it right here it's a small metal stand right by my sewing machine, ready for me to use. This is the material that I'm going to be using real soon to make more clothing. And there's also interfacing on here. But that's where I draw material from right now. Hopefully this won't be too dark. But this is the closet that I recently cleaned out, and most of my extra stuff, like this is flannels, that's Christmas projects, batting for quilting, and that down below there is knitting yarn. But this is where I keep my extra fabric, not a lot, in these plastic tubs. And projects that are individually ready to go, knitting and whatever else, are kept in these bags with all the supplies right there. Well, and oh yes, the black bags, that is batting. That's just batting for quilting. So that's how I store the fabric that I have right now. I am running out of room though, so I'm gonna have to get busy sewing. You know, I don't really want to get a big stash of fabric because I'm the only one in the family that sews, and I'd rather keep it more under control these days than what it has been in the past. But for right now, that's what I've been doing, and that's what I've got going on. I hope you're all having a great week out there. You take care, and I'll be talking to you again real soon. But for right now, it's going to be bye for this time.